years ago. Work at an old warehouse with a guy named Buck. We're the youngest and newest guys there, so all the old guys used to dump their grunt work on us. One night, we're working an overnight shift. We did them occasionally. The old fugers make us organize the attic. It's not really an attic, just a small room that oversees the warehouse. While digging through boxes, Buck finds a large black case. Inside is a ventriloquist puppet. Ugly little bastard. Its face looks leathery and smushed like one of those fake shrunken heads, only with white skin and rosy cheeks. It's got round, glassy blue eyes and a big smiling mouth full of little white teeth. Pic-related, it's the closest thing I could find, but imagine a dark, leathery face. Eerie as fudge. Buck's a huge practical joker. He says we should freak the other guys out with it. We'll just keep moving the doll around the warehouse until those old alcoholics think it's moving by itself. Okay, I'm in. First place is the forklift. This doll is pretty big, so we managed to place it with its hands on the steering wheel like it's driving. Now we wait. After a bit we hear somebody walking up. We peek around the corner. Nobody there. But there's the distinct sound of somebody walking around, dragging their feet. Probably a fudging rat, says Buck. A minute later, someone's coming. Peekaboo.jpg. It's one of the older guys. He walks up to the forklift, hops into the seat, turns it on, and rides off past us. No dummy to be seen. WTF, where is it? Then Buck spots it. It's way down on the other side of the warehouse by the front door. We kept it locked on night shifts. It's just lying there, face up. At this point my X-ray radar is going off. How in the fudge did it get way down there? Buck just goes over and picks the dummy up. He says we'll put it in the bathroom this time. Those old fudges take shits every 5 minutes. He sits the dummy down on the toilet seat with its head turned, like it's watching the door. Pulls out his work knife and puts it in the puppet's hand. I wish I'd taken a pic. It looked like one of those cursed images I see here sometimes. We go hide around the corner. Now we wait part 2, Electric Boogaloo. I ask Buck, how the fudge did the dummy get so far from the forklift? He just shrugs and plays on his phone. After a minute we hear the bathroom door open. Buck looks up. I look at him. He looks at me. The bathroom door slams shut. We didn't even hear anyone approaching. Then we hear the same sound as before. Every day I'm shuffling .mp4. WTF. It's moving quickly away from the bathroom door. We peek around. Too late, nobody's there. We can hear the shuffling moving down the next aisle. I am officially in X mode. The damn dummy walked off by itself. Buck calls me crazy, but he seems kinda sketched. He double checks the bathroom. It's empty. Mutterfuge, says Buck. He took my fudging knife. We look around for a few minutes but the dummy's gone. Scaredpep.jpg. Boo. We both jump and turn around. It's the warehouse manager Miguel. He's holding the dummy. All he says is you two are fudge up. Apparently Miguel and the other guys were in the back of the warehouse. There's a big shelf back there packed with boxes, makes a great hiding spot. They were just hanging out talking when they heard someone shuffling around in other aisle of shelves. Miguel looked around the shelf and saw something dart into a nearby aisle. Something small, moving upright like a person. For your information, these guys were mainly Mexican and Salvadorians from the country. Being an ex-Phil and all, I used to talk to them about weird shit they'd see out there, and nearly all of them had stories. These guys were incredibly superstitious. Miguel though is a tough fuger, not afraid of anything. He rushes towards the aisle and the shuffling stops. He finds the puppet lying face up with Buck's knife next to it. Miguel pockets the knife. "It's mine now, Caballero," that was what all the older guys called Buck. "But you can have your little voodoo doll back." He tosses it at us and walks off. I figure the best thing to do at this point is to put the dummy back in its box. We go back to the attic, lock the little future up in its case. Later, Miguel comes up and tells us to go organize some chairs. "Right away, boss." Buck and I finish about an hour before the end of our shift. Maybe we can leave early. We go find Miguel to ask him. Look everywhere. Then we check the attic. Miguel is in there, passed out. Buck shakes him awake and Miguel starts mumbling. I notice the ventriloquist case is open and point it out to Buck. Miguel wakes up fudging glassy-eyed, and we assume he's been drinking up there. He seems confused. Says the last thing he remembers is checking his phone for the time. Then Buck was shaking him awake. He has no idea how he got in the attic. He checks his pocket and his phone is missing, along with Buck's knife. But even worse, his warehouse keys are also gone. He's going to catch hell from the boss for that. There's no way he can lock the front door without the keys. Oh well, Future, too bad, we gotta go. Buck and I go to clock out and head for the front door. WTF. It's wide open, and the keys are dangling from the lock. We told Miguel and he breathed a sigh of relief. We talk about how that could have happened, and I bring up the empty dummy case. Miguel shakes his head and laughs. You guys are fudge up. He goes back to work, and Buck and I leave. Buck and I quit not long after. Nothing strange ever happened again.